Sup bros, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. I believe we're at 73 now, and as you can see, last episode, you guys might have seen this, but I just kind of put this in just to refresh you guys, because we're going to be talking about this particular offer for quite a bit throughout this episode. It was for Aubameyang, and he is an 89 rated overall player. To anyone who watched this series before I took that little break, you will know that President Obama was his nickname, and he was actually at Liverpool for a little while. I really enjoyed using him. He was a good player. But I got a huge offer from Barcelona for around 52.5 million. So I decided to accept that, and I don't regret that decision. But I was interested to see, because it looks like Muriel could be on his way out to PSG for around 50 million. And, you know, that would mean he hasn't been at Liverpool for that long. But still, if I can pick up someone like Aubameyang for, around 14 million and Oxlade-Chamberlain, that would definitely be worth it. There's no doubt about it. But unfortunately, in the FA Cup, Man United take that lead through Van Persie and through Welbeck as well. It was a simulated game, of course, but this is the last simulated game for a little while, because now we are into the transfer window. But I get an email in saying the transfer talks had been broken down, which meant that there was actually no real need for Aubameyang. Although that looks like it could be a great deal, as you can see, they actually accepted it, which I'm a little bit surprised by, because let's be honest, I sold him to him for more, and they'd essentially be selling him back to me for less, so I would have just made a huge profit. The profit margin would have been massive, but still, if there's no need for him, I might as well just not bother signing him. There is, I don't know, I just feel as though if Muriel isn't off to PSG for 50 million, I don't see why I would want to bring Aubameyang back, especially since I had no intention to do so anyways. There was just no real need to do it. But then Spurs came in with a 15 million for Ter Stegen, but Ter Stegen at the moment, although he is giving me quite a bit of hassle about his contract, he wants around just over 100,000 per week, which for me is just a little bit too much. I'm not willing to pay that for a keeper of his quality. He is a good keeper, and I think he is solid. I enjoy using him. I enjoy him being in my team. But 100,000 plus for him at the moment, especially when he's at this stage in his career, just isn't worth it. Maybe when he gets a little bit better, when he starts to hit that 88, 89 rated status, but at the moment he is just not at that level, so he won't be getting that 100,000 whether he likes it or not. But we're in the transfer deadline day, and that's when you just need that epic voice like transfer deadline day. Oh god, my epic voice sucks. I really need a cool epic voice. But as you can see, Spurs got back to me with a really strange counter offer. Usually it's a nice whole number, but it was 17,504,998, which was just so bizarre. I don't know whether those were literally like their last pennies they had, literally picking them out of the piggy bank, just trying to add whatever they had on top. It was really quite strange. But one thing has to be said, especially on my part, was the fact that I really haven't had that much action on transfer deadline day for a little while now. I tend to like to get all my business done before the transfer window, before transfer deadline day, just because it just becomes a mess on transfer deadline day. It is so tough to do those sort of things. But I decided to accept a bid for Glenn Johnson, mainly because, I already have some good left backs, right backs. I've got a lot of potential in those positions as well. And Glenn Johnson, although I like him and, he is a long-term Liverpool player, I just really didn't see the need for him. But let's take a look down the list at the moment. As you can see, we signed Bale, Hummel. There aren't several Bales, although I wish I had a few Bales on my team. There is only one. So that was pretty much my team lineup. As you can see, a lot of players I have are now worth a fair bit of cash, which is nice to see. I definitely have a lot of value in the club. And as you can see, 3 goalkeepers, 12 defenders, 15 midfielders, and 11 attackers. Overall, that is pretty solid. I do still have quite a lot of midfielders that I would kind of like to get rid of, but I'm in no mad rush to do so. And as you can see, the transfer talks had broken down for Glenn Johnson. So, it's not the end of the world. It wasn't something that I was desperately pushing for. But so far, 54.9 million had been spent on transfer deadline day. I hadn't spent a penny on it, and usually I like to make a big bid on deadline day, but it wasn't meant to happen, and it hasn't happened for a little while. With that being said, though, like I was saying earlier about transfer deadline day, if you guys end up buying players on transfer deadline day, I will tell you this right now, they will cost you a lot more than what they should do. And that is something that just really, really irritates me, because I don't know, I just feel as though is a lot of the times in transfer deadline day, either you overpay loads or you pick someone up on a last minute sort of bargain. But anyways, that was the transfer window done and dusted. That is all my transfer being made. We signed Bale, we signed Hummels. Those are pretty much the two main ones that I had signed up, and we had quite a few left in the transfer budget, which is a little disappointing. I probably should have gone ahead and just spent all that, because chances are my budget will get reset for the following season. But oh well, those are the sort of mistakes you will end up making in career mode. You just got to kind of move on with these sort of things. But I had a game against Sunderland, and that was my focus now. We wanted to play games. Obviously, you guys have seen a lot of simulator games. It was about time you saw some gameplay, and I was really excited to use Bale, use Hummels, things like that, just to see how the team shapes up with those new big signings. So we got straight into the game, and Sunderland are a solid side. If any of you guys have played Sunderland before, they certainly just like to pressure me. They like to do a lot of things that a few other clubs don't do, and my god, this the early pressure I got from Sunderland was just insane. But free kicks are something I love to do on this game, and I hold left trigger, I press A, I take a touch with that player Jovetic there, who buries it into the back of the net. I've done it so many times in this game. I've done it with Toby when we play in the 2v2s. I just do it so often because it is probably, in my opinion, the best way to take penalties in this game. Free kicks in this game. Just because free kicks in FIFA 13 are actually pretty tough to score. You can score them pretty easily with players like Diego. I'm sure there's a few other players, Ronaldo, you know, players like that. But for me, the best way to score them is through that particular tactic. But a scrappy piece of defending from Sunderland means that Jovetic picks up his second goal for the game. And guys, I do just want to say thank you so much for the support on videos recently. It has just been absolutely incredible, especially with my series with Toby. It has been unreal. But if you guys could keep that up, that would truly just be amazing. I would really, really appreciate that. You guys have literally just been the best people ever. So thank you so much for that. And we are 3-0 up against Sunderland. Things were looking fine and dandy, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep that clean sheet. A really, really nice piece of passing play from Sunderland means Sessegnon there, who I rate very highly, and was actually a player that I've never really tried out in career mode, and a player that I'd like to experiment with. But Jovetic ends that little goal drought that he's had for a little while now. He hasn't been able to pick up goals, and he actually goes and gets a hat-trick, which is just awesome to see, because he is a monster, and he is really good at what he does. So, that being said, that will be this episode today, guys. Like I said, if you guys could get this video to 2,000 likes, that would just be incredible. I would very much appreciate that. And some more videos with Toby will be coming up shortly. And I can't wait to do more with that series, because it is a lot of fun to do. Hope you guys have a cracking day, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.